my question is like, for those people out there, because I know I speak for these people in the audience. As soon as I say this right now, it'll get clipped. 1,000 people DM me, yo, you're talking about me. I know this feeling. Nothing can get through to me. No one can help me. I'm in the worst place. I'm in the darkest rut. I'll never get out. I'll never get out. How do you break through those people? How do you get them to at least open up to the fact that there potentially could be a better life for them?
It's a beautiful question, and my response might seem a little bit soft, but for me, the first thing is for people to understand what it means to truly be loved. Because my assertion is, and it's a hard thing to say, that no kid, going back to your point about most of this, I'd say actually all of it is generated in childhood. Most children don't know what it means to truly be held and loved. And again, I'm a dude, I'm a guy's guy. I love my sports, but I also would say one of my assets and my skill sets is that when I'm with someone, I just love them for who they are. So even if someone is depressed, and you're talking about whoever this girl is and whoever you're speaking to in the audience, what most people want is to truly be held for wherever they're at. Think of a little kid who's just, fell over and they got the boo-boo and they're crying and they're screaming. You don't want to go and you throw solutions. You should have had better sneakers on, or you weren't paying. That's not what they want. They want to be picked up and they want to be held. So that to me is the first port of call. Is I use the archetypes of what would the quintessential mother energy look like. And it's a lot of pressure on mothers to try and embody this. So I'm not saying anyone should, but if you had that quintessential, almost like Mother Teresa type woman as your mother, whatever you did, you'd always feel held. You'd always feel loved. And it's okay. You're a kid. You're supposed to break shit. You're supposed to get things wrong. But when we hear it from our parents, it's like, no, that was wrong that you did that. And that was bad. So that would be the first thing, is to learn. And it is really tough. I really, I have so much compassion for people out there doing the best they can. But to be able to hold yourself and go, you know what? I'm human. I'm not supposed to be perfect. I'm allowed to fuck things up. I'm allowed to be scared. I'm allowed to sometimes feel sorry for myself. That's okay. And to make a space for that is the first thing to do. So we want to embody the quintessential mother energy for whoever's going through whatever. Depression, anxiety, failure, loss, disappointment. It's okay. That's the first step. It's okay. Then we can start to bring in the quintessential dad energy, who's the guy who's like, hey, you're awesome. And you start to figure shit out and go, okay, maybe this is why you didn't, do well in this sport or in that interview. And we can start to be in the analytical. But that's when most people go straight away, is we want to fix it. And that person never felt held. Like I was saying when I was in the retreat, the woman who's trying to help her son, who felt worse than or less than his older brother, Robbie, he wants to just be held and listened to first. Most people don't listen. In relationships, parenting to children, just get what that human's reality is right now. And they don't feel good about themselves. And if you can just meet them there, I'm not saying that we want them to hang out there, but just to get, no, I really understand that you feel you really feel sad right now, and that's totally okay. And I think that's where women to women are a little bit better listeners. Us guys, we want to just fix shit. It's like, well, that was dumb. Why did you do that? Versus listening, wow, I can get you've had a really tough day, babe. I can get that. Now in our mind, we might be like, that could be fixed easily, but that's not what they're saying. They want to be heard. And this is where most guys struggle in relationships, is they don't listen. So listening is first, giving people the permission to feel what they feel without judging them. It's okay. I gave a client this example the other day. I said, imagine you're throwing a dinner party, not too dissimilar to the great one Andre did for us, and you can invite all of your emotions. And you're like, well, I definitely want happiness to be there, definitely joy, fun, he's awesome, playfulness and excitement, I want those emotions. Positivity, he's definitely going to be invited. Positivity, she's awesome. But then you go to the list and you're like, oh shit, do I have to invite depression? Does anxiety have to be at the dinner party? Does grief have to really be there? It's such a bummer. And to me, it's like, if you don't invite all your emotions to the dinner party, you're denying a part of yourself. And so it's about being a big enough human being that you can allow all aspects of who you are to actually be part of your life. That is the full integration that allows you then to be free.
Amazing.
I'm curious to kind of extend on Mike's question.
Yeah.
To the viewers, listeners out there that may be in a family situation in which maybe they are missing family, which I know is something that you've obviously had to overcome.
Yeah.
or maybe they're in an abusive, relationship or something. They feel stuck and their environment's not conducive, and maybe they're too young to even move out and they can't be on their own.
Yeah.
What do you say to those types of people? Is there a way to find this inner clarity and this inner peace while still being in a chaotic environment, or do you have to at some point completely remove yourself to accomplish this?
The first thing I'd say is I have nothing but love for you. Again, that sounds a little bit philanthropic, but I really do. I've been through a lot myself. We all have. And so I think compassion is one of the greatest assets we can have as human beings. That you don't know what war someone is going through. When we judge somebody in public eye or in traffic and we get pissed, it's like, you don't know what they've been through. So first of all, come from compassion would be my first response to anyone. Secondly, I guess it's just dependent on the situation. If it's a kid, that's the thing that really breaks my heart, right? Is you see kids who, it might not even be abuse, like in terms of physical abuse, but the kid that's ignored, at the dinner table, or, the quintessential go to your room, the dismissive energy that is put on humans, to me, is one of the cruelest ways to treat anyone. And I'm just super sensitive to suffering. I don't want anyone to suffer. It's why I do what I do. I want to help people wake up and be free. So compassion and love would be the first thing I'd bring to people and say, listen, you're not alone. I think, having some sense of companionship with people who are going through this, to realize that there are millions of people going through the same thing. And then to, as best as possible, yes, if you can remove yourself from a situation that is abusive, whatever that means, it's a strong word, then of course that is great. Seek counsel in people that you can trust, whether it be friend. This is why people get into gangs. Humans want to belong. And if you don't find belonging in your own biological family, which
find it elsewhere.
You find it somewhere else. And that's also scary, right? Because you're going to want to mimic the group. Bless you. Bless you.
Double bless you.
Boys, I got to take that sneeze as a opportunity to run.
Okay.
My driver's outside.
Oh, excuse us.
There we go.
You guys
don't change on us, Mike.
You guys have fun here in the digital world. I'm gonna go do real things. Okay.
Talk about royalty. Mike, a pleasure.
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you again after the show.
Absolutely.
I think we can connect on a lot of things.
No, I'd love to help you, and I really appreciate you sharing about the depression, because it's more common than people realize.
I could sit here and talk to you about it for 4 hours. And by the way, I think a lot of people would like to see that. So hopefully we get a chance
come back
to talk
and do it. Yeah, and just the first thing I would say to give you as a takeaway is acceptance. That whatever you went through, you obviously got a big heart, you care, you got a great mind, and you're no different than any other human being in terms of you've been through tough stuff, right? But to accept your pathway without resistance is where you're going to find freedom. That what happened is one of my quotes that say, what happened, happened, and couldn't have happened any other way because it didn't. And if you really get that, there's a lot of freedom to be found, because oftentimes we're judging our history as though that shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have done that. Well, now you're stuck.
Right.
What happened, happened, couldn't have happened any other way because it didn't. And if you really get that, you, my friend, will find some more freedom.